Members of the press, members of the Central Florida Tea Party Council, good morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jason Hoyt. I currently host a radio show called Tea Party Patriots Live, which airs on Saturdays from 4 to 6 on 660 AM WORL.
With grace and advertising.
I have the unique and distinct honor of having been involved in the very first conference calls with patriots from around the country back in February of last year that kicked off the National Tea Party movement. On those calls, we planned the first round of protests in 50 cities nationwide on February 27, 2009. Since that time, thousands of hours have been dedicated by volunteers across the state of Florida, as well as in every state of the Union. This morning, I have the privilege of speaking on behalf of a coalition of local Tea Party groups as we stand together with this very important message. The Central Florida Tea Party Council, an alliance of local Tea Party movement leaders, today calls for the immediate withdrawal of Florida Tea Party candidate Peg Dunmire from Florida's District 8 congressional race.
Never. We have free speech in this country, sir.
Not according to them. They're not real Tea Party people, so it
How
doesn't
can you
matter.
tell us that who we can run and who we can't
He's
run?
holding a press conference.
It's okay. It's still America, not according to what you guys say, but
With this
nor
week's
Mr. Pipitone.
With this week's unsettling disclosure in the news,
Ooh.
in numerous press accounts, of a financial connection between Democrat Alan Grayson's campaign and Florida Tea Party political party, the legitimacy of Tea Party candidates across Florida, including Peg Dunmire, can no longer be defended by any prudent observer. Accordingly, we, as a fair representation of the actual Tea Party movement, appeal to the integrity of Ms. Dunmire and all other Florida Tea Party contenders to make the honorable decision and protect their individual character
Who's
and
paying you to say
standing
this today?
by renouncing their
Which
tea
Republican
candidacies
candidate?
effective immediately.
Let him speak.
Oh, we will. Yeah, like you've let us speak.
You want to say that again? There was somebody talking.
Just me, Tony. You know, your favorite guy.
Accordingly, we, as a fair representation of the actual Tea Party movement, appeal to the integrity of Ms. Dunmire and all other Florida tea candidates to make the honorable decision and protect their individual character and standing by renouncing their tea candidacies effective immediately. The recently formed Florida Tea Party political party is a Tea Party in name only.
You lie. Right. You're a Republican in name only. Rhino.
Yeah, you're a Republican operative. That's a good word, Shane.
They have been engaged in a litany of questionable actions since their formation and have never been connected to or found any support from the actual Tea Party movement. That's a fact.
No, it's not.
That's a
It's
lie.
opinion.
The key organizers of the Tea Party movement here in Central Florida, united we stand with leadership throughout the state of Florida.
Where are they?
We do not support the Florida Tea Party political party. At the core of the Tea Party movement is the concept that we the people will decide our candidates. We're upset with political parties, the establishment, playing favorites, and picking our candidates for us. What Doug Guetzloe and Fred O'Neill have done is hijacked a name that we have been working thousands of hours volunteering for, and all they have done is become a new establishment with corrupt party bosses where they pick candidates for us. And now, due to the news reports, we're able to track sources of money.
$112. Yeah, that's pretty good.
As a result, we ask that Peg Dunmire and the rest of the tea candidates help us bring integrity back to Washington and Tallahassee, help us bring integrity and ethics back to the political process, disassociate yourself from the corrupt Florida Tea Party political party, join with us in the real Tea Party movement as we bring back fiscal responsibility to government, to protect the Constitution, and to limit the size of our federal government. Thank you.
And Peg Dunmire will respond whenever you're done with Mr. Hoyt and his so-called Tea Party.
It's our press conference.
Oh, did
Do you guys have any
something to say,
questions?
What do you make of the money? The $20,000 going to Public Opinion Strategies, the money Grayson has sent to Mr. Guetzloe's company to buy ads, as well as another Tea Party candidate to buy ads. What does that prove? That's easy.
It proves that you are lying as usual, Tony.
I told Peg this a few weeks ago. If she gets 5 to 7% of the vote, I'm convinced that that sends a message to Washington. It sends a message from Central Florida that we actually want to continue down the pace that we're heading down, that Alan Grayson represents, towards Marxism, socialism, whatever you want to call it. It's heading in the wrong direction.
Because if he gets 5 to 7%, what happens to the Republican?
Well, it's going to split the vote for sure. But right now, we have constitutionally minded conservative candidates in the Republican primary. This isn't a case where we're desperate, we've got rhinos, we've got establishment guys. We actually have viable candidates in the Republican primary. Let the people decide instead of having party bosses decide for us.
Jason, are you a member of the Republican?
Jason, do you think voters are naive enough that if they see the word T after the name, they're going to vote for that candidate?
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. This is a public service announcement. Because when you see TEA on the ballot, those candidates were not chosen by the movement, chosen by the people.
So what? You don't have the right
Jason,
to
isn't
do
it
that.
true the Republican
basically
Party
you guys are
is
trying
more
to-
This is a
afraid
press
of Peg
conference here.
Dunmire getting elected
Basically,
than
you guys are
Alan
trying to
Grayson
get the
getting
word out that the
reelected?
Tea Party is not, the Tea
Answer
Party
that
candidate is not representative of the Tea Parties.
Correct. Yeah, the Tea Party candidates were not chosen by the Tea Party movement.